Hi there, thank you for joining us today. Doug and I are going to be having a look at how the melee works in ACP-164, the Albedo Miniatures game. So you're joining us part of the way through a game, so that the situation is the EDF are holding an important government building here and the ILR are attempting to assault it. So they have a squad over here that's obviously sort of come under heavy fire, and they have a second squad here that looks like it's sort of moving up towards the objective. So the reason that you might want to engage in melee and assault a position rather than just sort of shooting at the defenders is that it allows you to take and occupy cover. So the EDF infantry here are behind a sort of a sandbagged emplacement, and they could probably pretty much sit there all day sort of taking fire, protected by those sandbags. Looking over at the activation deck, we got card 5. I think everybody's finished acting on the 5.
Yep.
Right, so let's flip a card and see what happens. Okay, so we've turned a 2. I don't think I've got any 2s. What about you, Doug?
Well, I've got the command section which has a 2, and I'm going to use it to swap with the assault section. That gives them the initiative closer to, and I shall launch my melee.
Okay, let's see what happens. So, the attackers have made it into contact with my defenders. In Albedo, when your opponent moves, you have an option to react. Unfortunately, these guys have already reacted to a threat off to their left flank, so we can see that they have stunned counters by them, so showing that they've already reacted or something's happened this turn. In Albedo, movement is done on an individual basis, so we measure the distance and we move the attacker up. So this leads to a number of individual combats. So combats are broken up into a 1 to n combat. So here we have a 1-to-1 combat. Here we have a 2-to-1 combat across a defended obstacle, and here we have a 1-to-1 combat against a defended obstacle. So let's see how it all works. So in a melee, the attacker sort of chooses the sequence to resolve it. So Doug, where are you going first?
I'll start with the 1-to-1 in the open.
Right, okay, so we have a heroic, loyal Lapine serving in the ranks of the EDF, and what's he going to do? So I'm going to turn my card, and we look at the D10 value, and it's a 9, so that's looking pretty good. So we look at the card for the tactical factors. So his morale bonus is 1, so 9 plus 1 is 10. He's armed with an assault rifle which doesn't have a hand-to-hand bonus, so that's still 10. But he has got a stunned marker, so down 1 to stunned. That's looking like a net 9 for the loyal Lapine.
Well, my brave trooper there taking on the flea-ridden traitor, he's got a melee value of 1. His carbine provides a +2.
That's pretty handy.
So it's a +3 net. Let's see what the card has to say. 7 plus 3 is 10.
Oh no, you've just beaten me.
And you deserve it.
So what happens now?
It's a wound in the abdomen.
Ouch. And because you've won, the defender gets pushed back 2 inches to there. He takes a wound. He would have taken a stun, but he's already stunned, and the squad leader takes a morale token to be resolved next time they activate.
That's the one from earlier, and I am allowed to advance 1 inch, so I'm behind the barricade.
Right, okay, so you've breached the cover.
Run, rabbit, run.
So, which melee do you want to do next?
We'll do the 2v1.
Right. So that's yeah, it's a sort of a dog defending cover there. So let's draw a card. So he has a 7, but this time looking at the factors, his +3 for defending cover, that takes it up to 10. He's down 1 because he's stunned, so that's 9, but then he gets 1 for his melee value to take it back up to 10.
Right, we've got the same carbine value, but this time I've got a friend in support. So it's a net of +5, and they're not really keen. 2 + 5 is 7.
Right, so that looks like a win for the brave EDF defenders. So I'm going to choose the guy on the left to be the sort of subject to the damage. Turn the card, and it's an incapacitating 3 wound to the head. So he takes no further part in the action.
That's outrageous.
And I believe you're pushed back 2 inches.
He is indeed.
Let me think. Shall I advance an inch, or shall I stay behind the cover? No, I think I'm going to stay in the safety of the sandbags. Okay, so we've got 1 melee left, which is 1 against 1 over defending cover. So, drawing my card, I have a 5 on the D10, and I get a +3 for defending cover, +1 for my melee bonus, and down 1 for stun. So I make that a net 8.
Well, I'm the +2 for the carbine still, +1 for melee, and +5, it's a draw.
Right, so we've both got 8, it's a draw, so what that means is that we're both pushed back 2 inches.
Not the result I wanted.
It could have been better, but at least you've got 1 guy behind the cover. One of the key points to note with melee is that at the end of the melee, none of the figures are in base-to-base contact. Everybody has either pushed back or advanced. The rules for melee are on page 23 and 24 of the hardback and the softback rulebook, and all of the factors for carrying out the melee are summarised on the back of unit reference cards. So thank you very much for joining us today. We've got some links down below for more information, and if you like it, subscribe to the channel, and see you next week.